Good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome back to Dan's Vintage Baseball PC on the road. So, don't be fooled by the fancy name. It's just me and some friends talking. The cards aren't. I'm almost messed up. It's been a pretty wild weekend so far. I'm recording this on Saturday afternoon, so this is going to be part one of my Strongsville videos. I'm going to talk about Thursday and Friday. And I did make some small purchases today and tomorrow. Tonight is the trade night. A couple hours I'm going to be getting on stairs and hanging out at the trade night. If you are in Strongsville and you do see this video and you got nothing to do after the show, at 6 o'clock in the ballroom of the hotel right across the street, or not even across the street, across the parking lot from the show, is the Four Collectors Vintage Trade Night. First vintage trade night ever in any capacity anywhere. So it's going to be pretty awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. I will be set up with a display case and a small amount of cards, as will many other of the YouTube content creators that you probably watch and enjoy. So I drove from New York City to Strongsville, Ohio, a little bit south of Cleveland, on Thursday morning. Left Thursday morning about 9:30. Got here about 5 o'clock. Went over it a little bit after that and picked up the media pass that Four Collectors has got for us. And so when we got there on Thursday to pick up the media pass, we were allowed to go into the show and do a little preview and walk around. I didn't bring any of my money with me. It was up in the room, this room. And so I didn't buy anything on Thursday, but I certainly did scout around and look for stuff. And we shot some video for collectors. I'll link below. We have the day zero video up. And basically socialized, looked around for the cards, did a little scouting out. Thursday night, I'd say about half the tables were set up, so it wasn't really 100% scouting out, but I did actually end up, targeting some stuff. Thursday night was a fun night, hanging out at the bar and just meeting up with the guys and talking about cards and everything else. So Friday was really the main show day. Theo, who was sort of running the Four Collectors, itinerary for this weekend, had us up early on Friday morning. I was at the show at 8 o'clock in the morning. A lot of the dealers weren't set up, but mostly everybody had their inventory out. So we went over and shot a lot of video. And the day one video is actually really, really good. John's editing is terrific. So I'm going to link to that also, the two videos that are up so far. But after we were done shooting, it was probably, I don't know, maybe at 10:30, 11 o'clock. The doors, the pre-sale or whatever they want to call it, the early entry was at noon. So I was able to do some shopping before the public came in, which allowed me to cut a big deal, and I'll show the card off. I've already put it up on IG and got a tremendous response from people. But so let's look around and look at some of the scenes. So I shot this at the early on Friday, probably 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, after it was open to the public, and it was packed. Can't really tell from where I'm standing here because I'm all the way sort of in the back, but the aisles were getting full. A lot of people there, a lot of action going on, and it was really pretty amazing to see how quickly this show filled up and really got serious. I was standing in the front inside, looking through a window at the line of guys getting in, people getting in, and it went from the front entrance all the way out to the back side, back around, and they got everybody in because you got to check in. It wasn't and it was inside too, so nobody was cold or wet or whatever. But it ended up taking a little bit of time for people to get in, but they did, and that's the front entrance. This year's Strongsville, the Brunswick ice rink has two rinks, and the one last year we were on, I guess, the left as you come in, and this was the one on the right. It's said that the rinks are the same size, but I've heard that both that they or bigger and smaller. So I'm assuming they're the same size. But what they did was SGC had an entire setup which was outside of the rink, which would be like pretty much where I was standing when I took the last picture. And they've got a whole bunch of tables set up for submissions on site. I did one of those on Friday before the public came in, so I didn't have to wait online. But that is creating more room for the dealers. 168 tables I counted on their website. So I had been saying 150, but it's actually a little bit more now. So first thing I see when I came in was the Mile High Auctions. And Mile High Auctions last year was the victim of a large theft of their cards from the very hotel that I'm sitting in now. It was in the news and everything. And most of the cards were recovered, but not all of them. But Mile High now has, for display, a T206 Wagner. The picture on the left is the picture in the case. The picture on the right is me personally holding the T206 Wagner that's on sale on auction at Mile High Auction House. Interestingly enough, while I was standing there, the main guy who was working there, or who I assume is an owner or one of the major people there, was talking to a man and his son, and the man was the detective who had solved the crime that had happened a year ago. So they were talking about where it happened, and so I was, basically, eavesdropping a little bit, and then I sort of joined the conversation, talking about the person who had stolen the cards last year, who was working at the hotel, who ended up being the person who had checked me in, and I remembered a whole bunch of stuff about it. That was kind of fun and interesting. But there it is, the T206 Wagner. I have never held a Wagner in my hand before, but I did yesterday. So, of course, the people, maybe the main reason I came to the show is the people, but early on we got to hang out with Mookie Chilson, Mike Petty, and of course Greg from Midlife Cards, and we've seen each other quite a bit over the last couple of days, and I'm sure we will tonight at trade night. And we got a nice lunch. Mike Petty was nice enough to pick up the tab, which was very much appreciated. Great gentleman. Here's a couple more. I came on to this rendezvous between Sammy Thunder and Mike Petty, where Sammy Thunder purchased and bought and gave to Mike Petty a picture of Dick Allen, which is used on his 71 Topps, which is, I guess, one of Mike Petty's favorite cards. So this is a photograph that was eventually used for a card. So the photograph is bigger than a card, but that was an amazing gift, and I was happy to have witnessed that firsthand and taken a photo of it. And then I did see Warren D and CLE, and we got a little selfie there. Warren was at the show on Friday, and it was nice to see him again. And so there is Stan's Vintage Sports Cards. So Stan was very popular amongst the YouTubers this time around, and rightfully so. He has an amazing inventory. And I have said it when I was on Jeremy Lee's show, I revealed my number one target for this show. It was a red Cobb. And I wanted some nice registration and some nice color. And there were some red Cobbs in the room. Not as many as I wanted to see, I expected to see. It came down to two possibilities. One of them was at Stan's table. And so as I looked at it, looked it over, and looked at the price, and ultimately decided to bundle it with some Cracker Jack cards because Stan, I keep calling him Sam, Stan Locke. Stan had some of the best, or no, not some of the best Cracker Jack cards in the entire show. So I bundled a couple of Boston Braves Cracker Jack cards along with this. It is the T206 Ty Cobb Red Portrait Old Mill back. Now, I didn't go targeting an Old Mill back, but I don't own an Old Mill. I do now, but I didn't own an Old Mill. And I felt like the number that I ultimately got this card at in the bundle with the Cracker Jacks that we'll see shortly ended up being a little bit less than the other one that I saw, which was a Piedmont, which had creases in it and which presented pretty nicely. But I decided to go with this, and Stan worked with me, and it was a nice experience. Of course, great guy. He works with his wife. His wife is wonderful, and it's just good to be able to get the card you want from the kind of dealers that you enjoy, dealing with, and good people, and ultimately, um, this is a cornerstone of my collection, and I'm so happy to have it. Made the entire trip worthwhile. I bought this before doors even opened for the public on Friday. So the Cracker Jacks that I bought were 2 cards, Boston Braves, trying to complete the set. There were 14 cards. I had 9 of them. Now I have 11. There's one more I'm targeting for maybe tomorrow. This is George Stallings, who was the manager, and Cather. I don't even remember Cather's name. It's it's in front of me. Let's see. Ted Cather was a backup catcher. So when you want to complete a set, sometimes you have to buy the backup catchers. But these are really nice. They're 15s, of course. I know the 14s are very expensive. But the Cathers are 3.5, and the Stallings is a 4. I paid strong for them, but they came in with the Ty Cobb deal, and they made the numbers work out for me. So thank you to my Boston Braves Cracker Jack set build, because that ended up helping me get the Ty Cobb. Other dealers at the show were Ed Hands, who I had purchased from in Shriners and in Strongsville previously. It's where I got the one of my Xena cards, and I got another Boston Brave M1015 from him in Shriners. Really nice man. We interviewed him, Theo interviewed him in the 4 Collectors video that I'll be linking below, the Day Zero video. Ed was nice enough to take some time and talk to us about his his cards and what he has for sale and where he deals and all kinds of things like that. So I got a nice selection of raw pre-war stuff from Ed. There's another gentleman there named Philip Gary. Philip Gary is from Florida. He was working together with Caesar, also from Florida, and they had just a great selection of pre-war stuff, of the non-USA cards. They had, Caramel Deportivo, Propagandist Montiel, Venezuelan cards, and they had a whole bunch of other stuff. Really, really solid selection of material. And Caesar's a friend of Orlando's, who has been here, and I'll probably get a picture with Orlando tonight. Be on my next video. But I did acquire 2 cards from them, and we'll get to that in a second. But first, I want to show the cards that I got from Ed Hands. On the left is Hank Gowdy, who was a catcher for the 1914 Braves. He's still on the Braves in 1921 when this E121 was issued. It's consists of pictures of 80 of the baseball stars. So it's the 80 subjects. So that was a nice card to pick up. To the right of that, interestingly enough, is Benny Koff. This is the 516-1-2. I'm reading off the back of the card. Thank you, Ed, for writing the issue. But this was one of the cards featured in my last video, the Benny Koff video, that I did not have, but Trey had it, and so we saw this one. So I got another card. As it often occurs, I do the show, and then I get more cards from the player that I featured in the show. So that was fun. We also got from Ed 2 other cards. This is Wade Hoyt, the Hall of Fame pitcher for the Yankees and various other teams. And this is a strip card. It's the W515, and I thought it was really sharp. And as you can see, there's some toning and stuff, but it was cut along the borders and really nicely cut. And I feel like this one, I'm going to submit it to SGC. I feel like this one's going to get a number grade. It may even get a 2. But really nice strip card of, a Hall of Fame pitcher. And I got this. What did I pay for it? It's marked at $40. I probably paid a little less because it was a bundle of all 4 cards. And on the right is Charlie Grimm, who I've been collecting some of his cards. I picked up a tattoo orbit recently of Charlie Grimm. And, of course, I got that very rare tobacco card from I don't know, 1934 or whatever. I did a whole show on it. But this is an E116. So the E116s are from 1927. They're pretty much the last caramel cards. It's the American Caramel Company from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. and it's 60 stars of the game. Babe Ruth is, of course, in it, and Ty Cobb, but very low pop. I looked it up, and it's four graded SGC examples. There's somebody partying out in the hallway there. Four graded SGC examples, and I think it was 7 PSA. So total pop of 11. I'm going to grade this, and it'll end up being, of course, total pop of 12 at that point. It's a little rough. It's a 1, but it'll get a number grade. And really happy to have a card from a set that I didn't even hear. I literally had never even heard of before yesterday's show. So yes, going back to what was his name, Philip Gary. Philip Gary and his friend Caesar. I bought one card from each of them, and interestingly enough, it's a father-son duo. On the left is Luis Tiant. That is the 1966 Venezuelan. This example is, it's got toning and stuff, but the back is pretty good. It's only got that one little bit of a paper loss. Other than that, it's pretty nice. I mean, I guess because of the paper loss, it's going to grade as a 1, but it's a very strong one. He took a significant amount off of the sticker price, so I got myself a nice deal on Luis Tiant Jr., but on the right is the Carabella Deportivo 1945-46 of Luis Tiant Sr., and this one I was really, really itching to get. I paid up for this, I think, but I definitely worked the deal. It was marked pretty high compared to what I could see in the online with various recent sales, and so they're really, really partying out in the hallway here. I hope you guys can't hear that, but pretty loud out there. Anyway, so I'm not going to get up and tell them to shut up, but I would like them to shut up. So this is the card. Let me get a little close up here. This is the Luis Tiant. I think that picture doesn't really capture. He was an absolute legend in Cuban baseball in the 40s and 50s, I guess, probably into the early 50s. And really, and the back of the card is very nice. Really, it's a 1, but for as ones go, this is actually pretty nice. So I talked to the dealer. We were talking about stuff. Really nice guys. And ultimately, I left, came back. Ultimately, we settled on a number, which I think I paid. Like I said, I paid up a little bit for. But he came down a lot, and I ended up getting a card that I really, really wanted to get. I had recently gotten the 67 Venezuela Luis Tiant Jr., which the back of the card actually gives more information about his father on the right than it does about Luis, who at that point, Louis was, 67 was like his 3rd year. So he's a fairly new pitcher at that point. And his especially Latin America, his father was far more, well known at that point, especially in like an issue like Carmelo Deportivo and the Venezuelan cards. So I don't know what they're doing in the hallway out there, but come on, it's ridiculous. Anyway, so Phil Marks is there. As you know, I've purchased a bunch of autographed materials from Phil Marks. He, he's one of the most experienced dealers in autograph cards. He used to work for SGC, he used to work for PSA, et cetera, et cetera. He came equipped, thankfully, with a lot of Cleveland stuff, which is smart for any dealer coming. He's a Philadelphia guy. When he comes to New York, he brings Yankees and Mets. When he's in Philly, he brings Phillies. When he comes to Cleveland, he brings Cleveland stuff. So happy to see Phil there. Happy to see, his inventory was really well curated for this particular event. And so I ended up getting a nice card from him. Also got a card from a dealer named Brian Deck, D-E-C. And that's his little sign in front of him, briandeck.com. If you want to pause on any of these, any of these signs and, get the information for these dealers, they're all really solid people and happy to have purchased from them. On the left is a 1954 Al Rosen. I have the card, of course, and but I did not have an auto on this card. And it's a really nice ballpoint pen auto, which is like neat. It's probably dates to 50s or 60s, possibly even 70s. Al Rosen lived, I guess, into the late 80s. There was an autographed 51 tops that I was interested in, but it was not slabbed. It was authentic, you could tell, and obviously Phil's not selling non-authentic autographs. But the auto looked kind of like Al Rosen had signed it when he was old. It was a little shaky. This one looks like it's probably from that era, or maybe even shortly after he retired into the 1970s. You see, that's a really really clean. That's the auto right there, in between the little swinging Al Rosen and the big head. So that's a nice auto. So happy to get that. Really, a nice bit of show stuff, the kind of things that I do, grind it out, get some raw stuff that I can grade, get some cool cards, a couple $100. But, really it was all about, the whole weekend was really all about landing the car, which is still in the paper, not the paper, it's still in the plastic holder. I'm not going to take it out till I get home. I've been putting it in my pocket and giving it to people who say, hey, did you get anything? Yeah, I got something. So, we're going to have the trade night tonight. It's going to be fun. Like I said, if you see this video before 6 o'clock on Saturday and you're in the area, please come by for Collectors Vintage Trade Night Strongsville. So we're going to set up tables. If you have material that you think it needs a table, to speak to us and we'll set you up. Like I said, I'm going to have a display case. Sammy Thunder's going to have a display case. A bunch of the content creators who are friends of the channel will. And, going to be really happy to see everybody tonight. If I do end up, swinging some sales or some trades, I may go back to the show tomorrow and pick up some more things. I did pick up some things today that are not in this video. I was also given some wonderful gifts from people. And I would like to highlight the people more in the second video, which I'll do probably when I get home back to New York. And that'll probably be early to midweek. Later on next weekend, recording a show with a collector who has completed a master set of the 1949 Bowman set. Also have a version of Dealer's Collector coming up. I also have 1956 Top Show coming up, which is one that I've been wanting to do ever since I finished the set a few years ago. But I got the main guy is literally 1956 Tops guy. So that'll happen in early May. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening, even the loud people in the hallway over there. But Strongsville has been so far everything that I could have wanted it to be, and I'm overjoyed at the people that I've got to hang out with, and the good times we've had, and obviously the Ty Cobb. So anyway, we will see you in a few days.